Hi, everybody. I wanted to come in here tonight to talk to you guys about why butter and milk still isn't in the store. I've gotten a lot of questions about it, and it's definitely a complicated situation. So I wanted to come in and just explain it and share it, and hopefully I can be here to answer some questions. So, traditionally and always, milk has been sold in basically three different places. There's what we call retail, meaning in stores, grocery stores, all those kinds of things. Very important market for us. All three of these markets are really important. The second one is schools. Lots of milk gets drank and consumed in schools, obviously. Kids eat lunch. Lots of kids eat breakfast. Certain schools, kids eat dinner there too on sports nights. So, schools use a lot of milk. And the third place is restaurants. So, traditionally, restaurants are also a huge part of our market. So, with COVID being so big, and all across the country and the world, people are not eating out as much, so they're not using as much dairy. Very few restaurants are actually taking in the income that they have been in the past. So that is number one. There's a lot less people using restaurants, and that's really hurt. So, for example, my milk cooperative, one of the products that they make is I think they're 50-pound blocks of butter. Those are used in schools, those are used in restaurants. So, those are not sold in the store. And so that line or lines in our processing plant that make 50-pound blocks of butter, they can't easily be changed over to make individual amounts of butter to be sold in the store. So that's one of the big issues, is that lines that have been set up to make things like restaurants, made to make products for restaurants, are not able to just magically switch over. They can't all of a sudden say, okay, we don't need as many or hardly any 50-pound blocks of butter, so let's just start making sticks. It doesn't work like that. So that's part of it. Those lines maybe aren't making as much product or aren't making any product if it can't be stored for a while. So that's problem number one. Those lines can't be turned over easily. And the same thing goes for milk. So certain lines in a processing plant make gallons or half gallons of milk. Then there are other lines that make the cartons or the individual sized drinks of milk. Well, you can't magically change that line to all of a sudden be able to hold and to be able to make lots more milk in the gallon or the half gallon, because the demand has gone from restaurants into retail stores. So that's part of it, is that we can't make enough product that is needed. In addition, the cheeses that people are buying and using are also changing, because things like cheddar, Monterey Jack, all of these ones that are bought in the blocks at the store, they're in really high demand because they last for a long time in a refrigerator. They go in all kinds of restaurants or all kinds of recipes, since people are making more meals at home. Whereas a lot of that specialty cheese isn't as needed. So the big cheeses that are being made are cheddar and mozzarella, because pizzas have actually been doing great right now. But the issue is that it's, again, that logistics. Our industry, as far as the processing plant side, is not as agile as it needs to be to look at what's happening right now and say, quick, I see a need for this, this, and this. Let's switch. they're really struggling with that because so much of the demand has swung from restaurants, and even in some areas of the country, there aren't as many schools that have logistically been able to offer meals to their students. That's been a challenge. Whereas I know in Michigan, they've done a really fabulous job of getting meals to kids, encouraging schools to continue to do this. They're offering a lot of funds to help them make it happen. So we're really lucky in Michigan. And I know a lot of other states and a lot of other areas, I've seen some great results, but not everywhere has done that. So there is some loss of demand in the school end too. So really logistically, it's been really hard for us to change some of our products and how they were made to get them into the new products that are being demanded in the marketplace. So I think this is a huge learning curve for us in the industry. I think that our processors and us, this is going to be really good for us. We're going to make sure that we're agile and that we can switch as demand is needed, and to really listen to the consumer and our customer and what they want. So that's part of the problem. The other part of the problem is that in addition to making the products that are needed and wanted for grocery stores, then there's also an issue with getting it to the stores where it needs to be. Every store is busier than ever because more people are cooking at home, people are at home, so they are needing more product than ever. And that's been a struggle because there's only so many trucks on the road, there's only so many people that can work and have experience there. And then, people are getting sick. In Detroit, I know that our post office in Detroit has been a mess because Detroit is a hot spot for COVID illnesses, and there's been people sick. There's been lots of people scared to go into work, and rightfully so. So, there's been a lot of issues like that. So logistically getting these products from the plant to stores too is also a struggle. So there's although we're all trying to adapt and we're trying to catch up, it's going to take time. It's going to take some patience. So I know that sometimes in the store there might not be any butter. Like when my mom went grocery shopping today, there wasn't any butter. And dairy farmers are trying. In addition to that, yes, there are dairy farmers in certain parts of the country that are dumping milk. And so, in order to donate to things like food banks, many states have laws against selling raw milk. In Michigan, we can't sell raw milk. So, that is one thing. There's a tanker of raw milk that has to get dumped. We can't sell it. And that means we also can't give it to a food bank. Often food banks have extra laws and rules on what can be given to people. So we need to make sure that that product is safe. We want to make sure that what we are, even if it is a donation to a shelter or to a food bank, we want to make sure that it's safe. We don't want people to get sick from our product. And pasteurizing milk is the best way to do that. It is the safest way to do that. Makes it safe for people to drink. So we can't just take that big tanker of milk that's getting dumped and to donate it to a food shelter, donate it to a food pantry. We can't just let people come and fill up, a pitcher and take it home to their kids. We can't do that. We don't want people getting sick. And we want to always make sure that people are getting the safest, healthiest product that they can. So that is my synopsis of, I hope that I have answered all of the questions that people have been asking me. But if you have any other questions, please comment, please message me, please ask, because I want to answer these questions and I want to make sure that you understand what's going on, that this is not just a tough time for us or for you guys. We're all struggling and trying to figure out what this new world looks like because we're in something very unprecedented. So I just ask that you guys give the food system some patience. Continue to keep looking and trying to buy our dairy products whenever you can. And I appreciate you guys. So have a good one. Stay safe, stay healthy. And I will be back next week with a new farm update video.